What's up? What's up, lovely Leo? Nesto, what's happening? All set up here. How y'all doing today? Happy hump day. Hola. What up, Magic? What up, Susie Q? How y'all feeling? I'm pretty good. If I'm honest, I'm a bit fatigued, but I'm doing all right. I called out sick tonight. Hopefully none of my supervisors pop up in here, but I guess it is what it is. You need a mental health day, right? It is what it is. We've been working a lot lately. Say wrong page. We've been working a lot lately, so been busy. So it's all good. It's all good. It is what it is. I'm chilling. I was thinking about how do rewards play a role in relationships? Okay, I am here. Okay, aquí estoy. Do people expect rewards in relationships? And if they do, is that a reasonable way of going about it? And if they do get the rewards, is there an improvement within the relationship? So I figured we could talk about it on the Mars Mindset. The pinned comment is there for those of you who would be interested in a coaching session. It's going to run up until about May 3rd. May 3rd is the last date that I have openings for the spring special, the Unleash the Beast special. So comment Beast. I'll send you the link that's in my bio. And if you get a session, the promo code is BEAST. 66% off my normal price for a one-off session. So for those of you who have thought about sitting down with me for an hour and improving your life or your perspective or managing your emotions or dealing with incessant thinking or improving your ability to communicate, or if you really want to get down and dirty, digging into some shadow work, here's a great opportunity for you to do it for the spring. So that's there. Pod is in my members area. What up, Pod? How you feeling? Pod ain't listening to me. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. So once everybody gets settled, or if anybody wants to come up, you're more than welcome to. If you want the link to the members area, let me know. If you're in my email list, it's already in your email. If you're a member and you can't find it, then it's in the members area. What's up, Angela? How you doing? What's up, Orlando? What's up, Dr. Hulk? Shit, I don't know because I'm not in one, but you've been in one.
Hola.
Hey, you've been in one, so I was just wondering, how do people quantify that? I'm pretty sure somebody's going to say it's more so reciprocation or people doing what they're supposed to be doing. Rewards in relationships, that's new. I would think to find love with, okay. Rewards in relationships, that's new. I would think to find love with that special someone would be the reward. Otherwise, it seems to me the reward would be like a judge following the rules. Huh. Hey, you want to come up and talk about it? You come up, we can talk about it. I was just thinking about it in terms of how I think a lot of times people feel unappreciated for whatever it is they bring to the relationship. And I think that when people feel unappreciated, they want something to make them feel appreciated. And it doesn't have to be like a material thing. It could be like attention, affection, consideration, grace, understanding, someone who acts, a point in time where you actually listen to that person. Because I think a lot of people get into relationships, and if you're a woman, all right, if you have the traditional role of a woman, you like, I cook, I clean, I take care of the kids, I do all of this, I do all of that. And if you're a guy, you like, man, I go to work, I pay the bills, I make sure the cars are fixed, I fix everything around here. The least you could do is fill in the blank. And whatever that blank is, that's the reward that person is seeking, right? Now, they might not quantify it as a reward, but because relationships are transactional, It's kind of like we looking for a reward. I do all of this, I don't want to get nothing in return. I ain't doing all of this for nothing. So I was just wondering people's opinions on that, or how people would quantify that. So if you want to join the live, let me know. You can send a request to come up. If you would like to join the members area, let me know your email address and I'll send you the link. And if you're on Instagram and you don't want to miss out on the chance to get an extremely cheap one-on-one with me, type Beast in the comments and follow that yellow brick road. Make sure you use the promo code BEAST, BEAST, BEAST. If you don't use the promo code, you're going to pay full price. Limited time, limited slots. I got 49 slots. So that's what it is. I'm not going to work tonight. I don't think I'm going back to work until maybe Sunday night, maybe Monday night. But I'm tired. I need a break from the bullshit. So that's that. What up, GP? What up, Keisha? What up, Daisy Love? What up, Anthony? What up, The Real Cash? What up, Bowlegs? Bowlegs. That's a dope. Hi, Laney. Bowlegs. That's a dope. Is Bowlegs still in here? Oh, she not in here. Training? What kind of training? Daisy, what you talking about? Did I say something about training? Yeah, whatever, man. They've been running us ragged. Like I told them last week. I was like, look, man, I'm burnt out. Like I don't got too much. Ain't too much gas left in the tank, right?
Hey, quick question. How do I can put my picture on my when I turn my camera off? How you do that? I've been trying to figure that out. I knew how to do it.
Put the picture on my. I don't know it well enough. I could probably do it if I was, there with you, but I don't know it well enough to say, oh, click this, click that, click this, click that.
Okay, I'll find a way.
I'm pretty sure. Well, and you on your phone?
No, I'm actually on my iPod, everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's probably in your Zoom settings, right? So you probably have to go to you may have to leave the room and go to the settings and account or profile or whatever, and then edit and then click the picture. That way, yeah. That's what I would assume, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but yeah, that's what I think it is. So yeah.
All right, I'll be back. Back in the flesh.
All right, that's cool. We'll be here. Yeah. So what are y'all thoughts? You know what I'm saying? What are y'all thoughts on rewards and relationships? Right? Is it reasonable to want a reward for doing what you're doing in your relationship? Or should you just do it should you do everything that you do in your relationship out of the kindness of your heart, just because you love this MFer? Or is it fair to expect some type of reward? And I'm going to avoid reciprocation, because then that just kind of lets you off the hook. And I like to see which words kind of poke at people, even if they are the same thing in applicability. Right. And not to say that they're completely the same, always, but they can be pretty close. So, y'all let me know, man. Let me know. Or I could just take a nap. That'd be cool. I'm down for a nap. My pillow a little bit softer since Pop was making fun of my beard the other day. What's up, Julie B? What's happening? What do that mean?
I'm sick.
Oh, you're not sick. You have symptoms.
I have symptoms of sick.
Okay. Angela said, are there any woman that has gotten a reward doing things for her partner? Yeah. Of course there are. Like maybe not having to pay the bills, right? Or not having to wash your car, or to cut your grass, or to fix something around the house. That's what I'm saying. People don't quantify it that way. People don't quantify it that way until they feel unappreciated, right? once they feel unappreciated, that's when they say, I do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. The least you could do is fill in the blank. And most of us have experienced that, right? So, Angela, you've been in a relationship and never received something? Julie Bean doesn't want to talk today because she's sick, but I don't care.
Listen, eventually we do things out of the kindness of our heart, I think.
You think so?
I think so. Like, if the relationship lasts long enough, you just start doing things because that's who you are. Or you don't do stuff because that's who you are.
So I agree to a point. To me, it's kind of it's a bit of an abstract thought, right? Give me an example of just simple, a placeholder, simple thing that you mean that people first they do it for some type of reciprocity or reward, but then after a while they do it just because it's out of the kindness of their heart.
Um,
Just something simple. It ain't got to be, nothing big.
yeah, like bringing you chicken soup when you're sick.
Okay, so I'm following you, right? So
Oh,
you're sick. I'm gonna bring you chicken noodle soup, right?
right.
All right. Okay. So let's kind of quantify this so that we're operating with the same um, example. Do these two people do they live together?
No,
In your mind, okay. So he lives in his house. She lives in her house. Who's sick?
she
She is. Why do I feel like this is a real life example?
because this is for real.
Okay. Cool. So Julie Bean, hypothetical Julie Bean is sick. And someone who Julie's in a relationship brings Julie chicken noodle soup.
Not even a well, not even a
This
relationship.
is a hypothetical, Julie. It doesn't have to be the real thing. I'm just trying to sort it all out, right?
Okay.
Okay. Your boyfriend.
He's a man and he's a friend. Go on.
You're okay. So this lady that I know is sick. This lady that I know has a boyfriend. They do not cohabitate.
Hmm.
Sick. And what you're saying, Julie, is when he brings her chicken noodle soup, he's not expecting any reward in return, right? And you think that's what relationships become after a while, right?
No, I'm saying it backwards.
Okay, so enlighten me.
I'm saying he is expecting a reward in return.
Oh, okay. So you do think people expect rewards then?
Yes, what I said was later on they just do it out of the kindness of their heart, or it is revealed that they just always expect a reward in return.
See, I'm not gonna die on any hill in this conversation, but I think people always have expectations of some type of reciprocity.
Right. But once you have enough,
Cash,
say,
Jay,
right, with someone, it just becomes like second nature.
it does become second nature, right? Until the shoe is on the other foot, and that person doesn't show up for you the way you showed up for them, and the first thought that you have is, "Yo, when you were sick, I bought you chicken noodle soup."
Yeah.
So I think there's like an innate expectation of fairness, of equality, reciprocity, reward. Even if in the moment, right? Even if in the moment, that's not because like if my wife gets sick and I say, okay, do you need me to run to the store? Right? I'm not thinking like, well, when I get sick, I'm gonna go to the store for her so that when I get sick, she does it for me. No, right? But if I happen to get sick later on, and I ask her, and she's like, I ain't going to the store for you. One of the first thoughts that's gonna naturally cross my mind is like, well, damn, when you were sick 3 months ago, I went to the store for you.
Right.
Like, you can't.
I think I think there are two kinds of people in this world, right? Ones that will just do it because it's out of the kindness of their heart,
Mm-hmm.
and the ones who like keep a tally in the back pocket for those moments. That's why I said, like in the beginning, I think people do it expecting something in return
Mm-hmm.
or expecting to cash in at some point.
Right.
And then over time, if the relationships, last that long, then you'll see what kind of person you're dealing with, whether or not it's someone who would bring me chicken soup when I'm sick without me asking 5 years later, or be like, make your own chicken soup or something.
Oh, okay. Did you ask somebody to bring you chicken soup?
No, actually, someone offered to bring me chicken soup.
Okay.
And I'm like, why?
But
Because we just,
people be wanting rewards.
exactly.
Right.
We just met, and I thought it was weird.
But what if he's like the person you're talking about that's just genuinely like when people get sick, I take care of them. I'm not expecting. See, I don't know, man. I'm starting to think. I'm not saying that like every single micro action that a person takes, they're expecting a specific a reciprocal return. But I do think that it's human nature to expect some type of uh, close to equal or similar return under similar circumstances at bare minimum.
Right. So in my mind, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna wait to find out because, like, I wonder, like, do you treat all your people like that when you just meet them, or you know?
Casey said you can't assume the worst. Oh, wait a minute, Casey. I might have missed it. Yeah, so you added another comment. Casey said, well, maybe he's trying to show genuine interest in being nice. You can't assume the worst about everybody, and it's okay to want back what you do for others at times, especially the good things. And she said, Julie, you're overthinking.
And also, I don't want him to know where I live at.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a legit reason to say, oh no, thank you. I think what Casey is saying is like, it could just be that he's just he's genuinely the type of person who, when people are sick, he just looks out. He could probably do the same thing. Like when I had COVID, my best friend just came over and was like, yo, I got you some chicken soup.
Right, but that's someone that you had tenure with.
Uh-huh.
I just met this dude on
I will
Sunday.
tell you this. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I hear you, especially because I'm pretty sure that women probably deal with trying to figure out, why is this guy being nice to me, right? Like, what does he want? So I can understand that. But there are people who are just genuinely just nice, just giving. But but you know him. Like, to me, once you know somebody, like, remember the other week here we had the conversation on transactional relationships, and we kind of came to the conclusion that all relationships are transactional in some way, shape, or fashion. I don't know if you was in on that one. It's kind of a similar conversation to where anytime you hear about people and their relationships, people just always list out all of the things that they do. I do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All the things they don't do, right? Right? Like, I don't cheat. I don't do this. I don't do that. Everything that they do or don't do to strengthen the relationship. And then they always follow it up with something like, and you can't even do this. That's the reward. That's the reward that they're looking for all that they do. There's this built-in expectation.
Yeah, I think we all have built-in expectations. I don't know. I didn't expect it day 3 of me just meeting you.
But he didn't. But he didn't tell you that he wanted anything. He just offered to bring you soup. You just know innately that there's something that it's fair for you to wonder, what is this person? How am I gonna have to pay for this later?
Yeah, that's a
Right? What's the price tag? What's the price tag? It's kind of like when the government's like, we'll give everyone one of these for free, and some people are like, yeah, we'll take it, and everyone else and the other people are like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Like, what's the comeback on this?
Yeah, maybe if it was like, a month, I don't know, but it didn't feel right. And when I'm sick, my brain don't process that fast. So I didn't want to think too much. I was just like, nah, I'm good. My dad's gonna bring me
Uh,
something. So
Casey, Casey got Casey fingers on fire. Casey, what you trying to tell Julie? Casey's getting ready to unmute, yeah.
I was just saying, I mean, you're right, valid about him not knowing where you want to live if you haven't known him that long. So that aside, I was like, it's $5 worth of soup. So even if he decided he wanted something later and he was like, oh, I was waiting, it's $5. Just don't talk to him anymore. It's not like he, paid your rent or something because you can't go to work. So, sometimes people really do just want to be nice. And I think it's sometimes a way to assess somebody's caring or giving spirit, because sometimes men can be overbearing. Now, when folks I meet and right out the gate, they're talking about very expensive things or things that, you should only offer if you are in a relationship, then I get leery. But I mean, I've had people offer to pay for my gas, and I'm like, sure. I'm like, what is it that you want, right? And it was like, nothing. It's just like, I want to do something nice today. Okay, great. And I let them pump the gas. And then some of them went on about their business and really just wanted to do the nice thing. Some of them have asked for my number afterwards, depending on how I felt. I said yes or I said no. It's $20. I'm not going to walk around feeling like somebody is going to make me beholden to repay them back for something small and minute. So
you talking about a stranger, somebody like you just happened to pull up to the gas pump, and
yep,
a rando just came up to you and was like, "Yo, can I pay for your gas?"
yep. And
So
I let them.
so Casey, I got news for you.
that happened.
Hold on, I got news for you. They were
What?
either did they use a credit card?
No, this one actually paid
Okay.
cash.
If it's a rando, then what he's really hoping is she gonna give me the digits.
Yeah.
No, no.
Right now, he might not just want to come out and say it.
Yeah.
But I think on some level, I think so, because I'm thinking about, because we're having a conversation based around relationships. I think sometimes you do run into people from different demographics who may operate in that way, who don't want something. Like you might run into like an older person, right? And kids are that way too, right? Older people and kids. But if you're talking to somebody that is about your age and of the opposite sex, boy,
Well, yeah, it happened twice. So one guy did ask for my number
okay.
afterwards, right? And so, but again, when he was offering to pay for it, I was like, "Is this just you being nice?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." So when he asked me and I didn't want to give it to him, I said, "Well, thank you," and I went on about my business. Like,
okay, so you asked him, was this just him being nice? And he said yes.
yep.
Okay, if you asked him,
You see,
what'd you say, Julie?
what else was he gonna say? No, I'm not being nice.
I mean, no, I mean,
He
he
could
could have been.
I like you and I want your number.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, he could have, and if you were asking me my opinion, that's what he really wanted to say deep down, but he just didn't have the gall to do it. Maybe he didn't feel like getting rejected.
One guy paid for my gas, but he gave the money to the clerk.
How nice is it to just be at the gas?
Yeah,
To be
he
how,
paid the clerk. He didn't give it to me.
but how dope is it to just be like to go to the gas station with the intent of buying your own gas, and some random person. See, this is the thing. The random people always want me to pay for their gas, right? It's always we're stuck out here. Yes, yes, you are definitely stuck out here because you are not about to scam me, and you're gonna stay stuck. And I'm strapped. So if this is an even deeper scam, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This shit is not gonna go well for you. So, but to think people go to the gas station and just randomly have other people pay for them? Damn. How you do that?
I waited though inside of the store, couple minutes.
Oh, you had somebody pay for your gas too?
He,
I'm going to the
I was
wrong gas stations.
listen,
You're not a woman.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, okay. I figured it out.
and the guy just gave cash to the clerk, and I just looked at him funny because I thought he was cutting me in line. And then he said, "However much she wants,"
Oh yeah. He wanted something.
and I just looked at him like, "Oh, okay, thank you." And then I went back in the store and kept walking around. And I waited for him to pull off, and then I went and I pumped my gas.
I think when I was thinking about having a conversation, it's deeper than like money. Because I think anytime someone offers something of financial value, it's fair to assume that they would like something in return. Fair, not necessarily correct, fair.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sometimes, like, if you take something that's not financially tangible, like compliments, right? I do believe that people give each other compliments with no expectation of anything in return,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Oh, you
true.
look nice today. Okay, cool. Oh, I like your haircut. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, your dress looks nice, and or whatever. You look nice. You look good in that suit, whatever. And people aren't expecting you to tell them the same thing. But anything that someone like trades, that they have to exert energy, or they've exerted energy to get the asset to give to you, and it's not some old person who just is just like just giving away things to people, or some kid, then they probably want something. They probably at least have a hope that you will reciprocate. They're trying to use the universal law of reciprocity to
But my
operate in
thing
their
is,
favor.
depending on what it is, I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing, right? So,
Okay.
like, I mean, if I'm single and the hope is that I meet a good guy, at some point that that man is going to have to address me and approach me,
Mm-hmm.
and if he's done it in a respectful manner, in a manner that gives me some level that okay, he may have some sense of sanity until I can figure out for sure or not. I don't I don't see the harm in okay, well he's doing this small but nice gesture, even though it exerts some sort of resource or energy because he wants to spend time with me. Like that's the point of getting to know somebody to hopefully evolve into a relationship. So I don't see anything wrong with if you do this nice thing for me. Say for instance,
Well, real quick, I don't either.
yeah. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So like the idea of now this has not happened. Would love for this to happen. If somebody were to say, "Hey, let me wash your car," so the washing a car is not going to make or break somebody's pocket for that month, right? Like,
Okay.
and just I mean, just generally speaking,
Yeah.
right? And so the idea of then him asking, "Well, can I see you later? Or can I call you?" Oh yeah, like I know that was the exchange, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess for me, it is what are you offering, right? And then what is the thing that you want as a result of it? And if it's something that I'm able to do, willing to give because I'm attracted to you or I like the conversation we've had thus far, then that's just how relationships evolve and grow. I do, you do. I take, you take. And it's not always the exact same thing, but everything we do, even in marriages, you're looking for something back.
Right.
Right?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think so. But so what I think though is, and I'm not talking about like in the just met each other phase or the dating phase. I actually think it's a little bit easier to traverse what people want. Obviously, if you don't know this lady and you're offering to do something, you want to be able to get to know her better. So whether that's phone number, social media, one night stand, whatever the case may be, you're trying to get something, right? I think when you're in a relationship, or when you get deep into a relationship, sometimes people, I think it can be difficult to have conversations about what you want in return, or what it is that you want, right? And I think that Quail said, Julie, go to sleep. I think that that's something that having that conversation about what do you consider to be a duty and what do you consider to be a reward would be extremely healthy for people in relationships, right? Um, like the simple example is you have a woman, let's say both of them work, I guess, and she does the cooking and the cleaning, right? She does the cooking and the cleaning. Um, she may view her cooking and cleaning, though she might accept it as a duty, she might also see it as something that she's giving, right? She'll see it as something that she's giving to her significant other within or giving to the relationship, right?
So I think duty and reward is the same thing.
No, no. Listen to what, no, not necessarily. What I'm saying is really about perspective, right? What I'm saying is like, Julie, you like to cook, right? So when you cook, if you were to cook for your significant other, um, you may look at it and be like, even though I like to cook, I'm still doing something for you, and you may not necessarily consciously be looking for anything in return, right? I just cook. My point is not about you cooking though. My point is about his expectations, right? If his expectation is that that's a duty, that's what you're supposed to do as a woman, then y'all might not be on the same page.
Right. So I think the person determines their duty, and I think the reward should be what the other person perceives as a reward. Because if I like to cook, I see that as my duty, right? But I don't necessarily see that as the reward for my partner. If my partner's reward is he thinks, like, I don't know, trying a new restaurant. Let's say we're just talking about food. If he thinks trying a new restaurant is a reward, then I would do that as the reward, not just be like, well, I cook for you every day. Like my reward and that person's reward may not be the same.
That's my point, right? That's my point. And so what I'm saying is people do think in relationships, human beings are creatures of habit. So in relationships, this is working relationships, friendships, intimate relationships, all of that good stuff. People do things perpetually, right? Right. So the other person may look at it as, oh, they're doing what they're supposed to do. But even though this is what you do perpetually, it's still fair for you to expect some type of reciprocity on some level. It might not be equal.
So then I would ask.
So let's look at it like this, Julie. Like, okay, I remember one time you was on here and you were talking about I think you were talking about the windows because the hurricane was coming,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you got a boyfriend and you
Mm-hmm.
cook for him, right? And then the one time you asked him, yo, can you come in and put the shutters? Well, I'll just call them shutters because that's what normal people know them as. I don't know what you Floridians call it. Shutters. Okay, I don't know. Y'all might have some fancy name for them. And you're like, yo, can you do the shutters for me? The hurricane coming in 2 days. Can you do the shutters? He's like, nah, I can't do it. It's one of the thoughts you had, like, damn, dog, like, I just cooked for you 7 days. Like, you can't do this. You can't spend 20 minutes to put these shutters on for me.
Yes, that is a thought that I had.
Okay.
But in my mind, if he doesn't see that as his duty, like I gotta look at the big picture, right? If he don't ever do nothing, we're gonna have a problem. But if he does other things like, I don't know, maintains the car or cleans the roof or like does other things and this one thing that he just can't do, I get it.
Chooses not to. Chooses not to. Not can't. Can't
Um
defeats the per. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You can't do. Can't do. Right. It is what
yeah,
it is. He just chooses. He can do it. He just chooses not to.
yeah. I would probably think that.
That's my point.
Yeah, I would.
That's my point. And so what I'm saying is, it would be advantageous for people to have those conversations,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
Which is like,
what do you think your duties are?
what, like, how do you delineate between your duties and what's a duty and what you giving, just giving, right? Like when you cook, are you doing this out of duty, or are you doing this out of uh, a transactional type of thing? Because I know people cook, at bare minimum they expect you to sit your ass down and eat the food. I didn't cook for nothing,
Yeah.
or I didn't make a meal for four, for three of us
Yeah.
to eat. I made this for you to sit down and eat, right? And then you start delving into it. It may not be just for this person to eat the food. It may be for us to sit down as a family and eat the food. So when you were cooking the food, you might not have said it to yourself, right? But there's an underlying thought or emotion attached to, I'm cooking this food. It's gonna taste good. We're gonna all sit down. We're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna do family time. And the
Mhm.
time for the person that's doing the cooking is the reward that which they're seeking, right? While the other person may not be thinking of it as, you're doing this for family time. You cook every day anyway.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
don't have that, if you don't have that dialogue, then the person that's coming to eat, they just like, oh no, just put it in the microwave, right? I'll heat it up later. And you looking like no, this family time, dog. Sit your bitch ass down and eat this food.
I have a friend that like when I make a new recipe, whatever, I'll invite him over. And one time he asked me like, "Why are you asking me to come eat your food?"
You want what you want,
Right.
right?
And I was like, because I want to know if it's good or not. I just tried this new recipe.
Huh.
And I 3 or 4 times that happened. And one time he was like, "How you made this mashed potatoes?" And I was like, "How else do people make mashed potatoes?" I took the potatoes, I chopped them up, and and he's like, "So you like cooking?" And I was like, "Yes."
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Oh," he kind of sat differently and was like, "Oh, okay, okay." And I was like, "Why do you think I do this?" Because I enjoy it, and
Yeah,
I like like the reward for me was, "Wow, this is good," or "Nah, this is salty," or "This is whatever,"
right.
the outcome is. But I think he thought that I wanted something in return.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting because you're doing it because you like it. He was under the impression that you were doing it to get a reward.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you. CD says they just hook you up, they just hook you, then treat you unkind to extreme bad treatment, and the instinct is right. It felt weird with the beginning of the friendship
I,
relationship.
I mean,
So can it be both?
I didn't think that far. I just immediately was like, I don't want you to know where I live, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
You
Because I haven't researched yet.
Oh, you haven't done that. You haven't run the triple I.
I haven't run his background yet. That's why.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Huh?
It was a nice gesture, but I was like, nah, I need more time.
Yeah. So did you feel bad about it? About saying you need more
No,
time?
I didn't feel bad. I just wondered, like, on his end, like, you're a guy. What would you think?
I would. I'm going. I don't know if it's fair for me to answer as a typical guy because I think multidimensionally, and I accept don't know, right?
One of these
So,
typical guys in here.
so how did you tell him no?
I first of all, I lied.
I'm
I said,
gonna be man. She lying.
no, it's okay. My dad's here and he brought me some,
Okay.
but I don't have the type.
Okay. Um, my first thought would probably be, oh, she's not that into me. She's not that into me. And then maybe some other thoughts would be, she could still be into me, but she just doesn't want me to see her while she's sick. Because some women are like, I don't want you to see me, with my hair in a what did Kevin Samuels call him? In a bonnet, right? I don't want you to see me in my hair in a bonnet, or whatever. I don't know what I don't know, and I try not to assume that which I don't know. So I probably would just ask and be like, "Yo, why you don't like? I'm curious. Like, why don't you want me to bring you any soup?"
No, he didn't ask, but he didn't ask me anything after that, but I just said I appreciate it. But that was really the only thing that was on my, like, I don't care. People see me, if you're going to see me at my best, you're going to see me at my worst, and then you make your choice. I don't really care about that.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. That's what I'm saying. Like, he
Oh,
didn't ask, so he doesn't know. So I mean, it could be any number of those. I can't tell you necessarily what the typical guy would think. I just think the typical guy would probably be like, she ain't that into me.
hmm.
If we're talking about that just in a vacuum, like there's no other circumstance where, oh, she don't want me to bring, like, okay, like if Casey goes to the gas station, because Casey for some reason can go to the gas station to just get free gas. I don't know. She's staying like she's
I smile.
like she's on vacation.
I smile at people.
Y'all know all women had a vacation pose where one leg is straight and the other one's kind of up a little bit. That's what she does as she's pulling up she gets out the car, and that's how they come up. So, but my point is, if Casey was standing there next to her car doing her gas station pose, and a guy came up and was like, can I pay for your gas and pump your gas for you? And she said, no thanks. The typical guy would be under the impression that she's not interested.
But why do you have, see, that's what I don't understand. I would be interested in you getting my gas. That doesn't mean I have to be interested in you as a person.
But that's my point. That takes us to the point. The point is that he's asking to find out if you're interested.
You're going to have to ask me direct, because I don't understand those kind of conversations.
I told you this a long time ago. Like, dudes don't approach women just for no reason, especially with an offer to do something. Like I said, I'm pretty sure a lot of guys give women compliments, right? And some of them are hoping to get your attention, and others are just like, nah, like I just kind of like this, whatever, like this attribute, right? But if there's an attempted exchange of anything, they want something.
But it's not an exchange. He offered to pay for her gas. That's where
it's an attempt at an exchange. It's his attempt at an exchange. Both of them dudes was trying to holler at Casey.
So it's okay for us.
One got the number. The other one didn't.
Right. The other one didn't, because he ain't asked. The other one, the one who got the number, he was brave enough to just be like, hey, I'm about to just dive in and find out what happens.
Yep.
Yeah. But both of them wanted the number. If Casey would have been like, if the guy that didn't ask, if Casey was like, you know what, you seem like a really nice gentleman. Can I call you sometime? He'd have been like, hell yeah. That's if he was honest, that's what I really wanted anyway. If I had known you was feeling me like that, I'd have kept my $20.
So is it okay for us to assume that when guys approach us is because they want an exchange? Charles, that's arrogant.
Pretty much.
Julie's saying exchange like he's asking for her body right then and there.
No, that's not what. No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, the exchange really could be. Let's just have a conversation to see if either of us want to continue having the conversation. That could be the extent of the exchange.
That's my point. That's my point about the relationships and rewards. Like, your attention could be the reward.
Yeah.
Just to talk. Like, just to be in your presence for 20 minutes. Like, if you could be in the presence of, would you water Warren Buffett's grass to be in his presence for 20 minutes? Shit, I would.
Yeah.
Mr. Buffett, do you mind if I water your grass? He'd be like, well, do you want anything in return? I kind of just want to get some investment advice from you. I ain't out here watering your grass just because I like you. I got my own damn grass. Just like them dudes had their own car. Well, maybe they had their own cars to put gas in. They could have put gas in their own cars. the same way chicken noodle soup guy, could have went and got his own damn food.
That's why I got names because of you. That's why I got names
How do
for
I? Why do I? How do I get blamed for you having names for
now.
me?
Chicken noodle soup.
That's what he offered to bring you, right? You didn't tell me the guy's name. You didn't say Terrence. This is how I remember stuff. That's how I remember stuff because I'm not good at remembering names. I label them. So the next time we have a session and you say so and so, and I'm gonna be like, you talking about chicken noodle soup guy or pink tie, right?
So I got an example, right?
Okay. All right.
I sent a text message to somebody.
Just now?
Yeah, just now.
Okay.
Because I need something for my event. And so I was like, hey, checking in to see how you're doing. He responded, I'm doing well. I was like, great. So are you available on Tuesday the 16th? He goes, I don't know, but even if I'm not, I will make sure that I am for you. I'm like, sounds great. I said, what do you need from me? He was like, can I give you a call later? We can talk about it then. I'm like, sure. But if you need logistics, I want to be ready. He said, we can talk about the logistics, but I want to run something else by you. And by the way, are you free this Saturday? I have tickets for a show at the Variety Playhouse. Right? So if I didn't go to the Variety Playhouse so I can get free videography and photography, I'm going to the Variety Playhouse. Right? So just even in that exchange, I'm like, hey, how are you? Immediately he saw his end to respond and then to ultimately ask me what he has been texting me 2 weeks. I just hadn't responded.
So you texted him first?
Well, he texted me like 4 times over 2 weeks, and I just kept like putting it off a little bit. And so then just now I texted him and was like, hey, how you doing, kind of thing. And
what made you text him?
Because I need videography services on the 16th.
See, so she's no different than the guy at the gas station. She's the guy at the gas station.
Exactly, because I would have been like,
everybody wants a reward. Oh, this is pretty much what Casey just told us. He don't know this, or maybe he do, right? She pretty much just told us. I texted him, right, in order to be able to get some later benefit. So we all are seeking a reward, relationships and rewards. I didn't hit the record button, y'all, on the Zoom, so I don't have the screen recording.
I don't know why I don't like that kind of communication.
I don't know why you don't like it. Hold on 1 second. I don't even know if it matters.
Report in progress.
Show's already in progress, so sorry that y'all missed the first half. Shit be like that sometimes, whatever. I'll try and do my best to link the Instagram video and this part of it moving forward into the YouTube video. I'll see what I can do with my editing magic. But we're having a conversation about relationships and rewards, and are people always seeking rewards, and why don't people have conversations about the rewards that they're seeking? Another term could be reciprocity, but I think reciprocity is too easy to let people off the hook. I think reward is a bit triggering, so that's how we're going to have the conversation. Julie, what were you? Julie, you drinking your Gatorade?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay hydrated.
Okay. So what were you saying though?
I don't know why I don't like that kind of communication.
That's what all communications are, though.
Right, but specifically that kind of like, you really want something else, but you have to open it with something else. I'm not good at that.
But people don't want to feel used. Like Casey, this dude texts Casey 4 times. She ain't writing back. Right? She ain't. For whatever reason, it could be legit, could be I was busy, I was doing whatever the case may be. For her to hit him back and be like, "What's up with the videography thing?" He's going to like that plane is going to crash on the runway in the ocean. So she hits him with a hey, and she probably put 3 or 4 Y's in it. So it's like, hey, soften him up a little bit. So Cindy, you had your hand up. What you was gonna say? You were gonna say yes?
And problems, I tell ya, they don't like me. I was gonna say that it wouldn't hurt to when they ask you a question and you think that they want something out of it, like, okay, what is your intention behind this? You could just ask instead of, assuming the wrong answer and then feel like crap for assuming the wrong thing.
They're gonna lie.
Be upfront with it.
That's okay. That's a legitimate point. But so now that we have an actual case study, we have 2 case studies. We have chicken noodle soup and we have videographer guy. See how I do that, Julie? Casey.
Where's the cracker?
So Casey, you wrote the guy. You like, hey, hey, what's going on, whatever. What if he wrote you back and was like, what are your intentions with responding to these text messages at this point? What would you be like?
I would have said, well, my intention was to see how you doing, haven't spoken with you in a bit, and to see if you're available on the 16th.
The 16th. Y'all funny as shit. Julie, why are you shaking your head?
Because that's a lie.
What's the lie? The first part? So you feel like she should just go?
I care if he's okay. I do care if he's okay.
Just cut to the chase.
Yeah, but that could have been the icebreaker, though.
Yeah, but Julie, there's like a small fraction of the world that responds to like direct communication the way that you enjoy it. I've had people tell me, at least pretend like you care that I'm alive. Like, you need to say how you doing before you jump into the request.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like. We have to have a certain level of rapport for you to just hit me up and directly ask for something, right? Like, any of y'all could hit me up, like, if you shot me a DM, if any of y'all shot me a DM and just got straight to the point, I'm cool with it, right? Like, we talk every day. It's like, you don't need to know how I'm doing, right? I'll tell you if shit's fucked up. But I don't like for people that I don't know to just walk up to me and just direct, even like, because as a police officer, as an officer, people expect you to always be prepared to do what it is they want you to do, right? And they don't see the human, they don't see the man, they see the purpose that they have for you, right? And so they'll come up and they say, hey, how do I do blah 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 blah? I'm like, hey, how you doing today? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, and then they like, I'm like, I'm chilling. What you need? And then they ask for it, but they just see you as there's a word, I can't think of it. It's like me as a utility, right? Or like as a means to an end, or just they don't see a person.
So she gonna go out for what?
What'd you say?
What's Kate? So now Casey gotta go out with him so she can get her free stuff.
No, I've worked with him for 2 years. It's not that. I was just saying that out of jest, but I don't know what he wants to do this weekend. He says he has tickets, the Variety Playhouse, but it could be we haven't seen each other in a while. He's done all of my videography stuff, but I do notice that he flirts with me from time to time. So this could be an opportunity to finally say, hey, let's see what happens. So,
okay, Julie, what's your response to that? Because you were trying to
tell her what you just told us a few minutes ago.
Which part?
About men.
What, him wanting something?
Exactly.
She know he wants something. She know he like her.
She just said she don't know. She hasn't seen him in 2 years and la la la. So she does. So does she like him?
I don't not like him, but I've never spent time with him. So it's somebody I can spend personal time with. So I like him enough that I would go to the show to see. But
that's good. So, but when is the last time you said you saw him?
Oh, it's probably like September, October.
So it's been almost 6-7 months, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everybody wants something. That's what it comes down to. Cindy about to get her videographer. If he plays cards right, he gonna go a little further down the Casey Kane rabbit hole, and then we'll see where it goes.
Look, I would also just say this, and y'all can call me what y'all want to call me. My mama, my auntie, and my grandma taught me how to use what you got to get what you want. So I have had folks who have shown some interest in me, who have flirted shamelessly with me, and I'm like, oh, okay, you want to go out? I need you to come set this equipment up over at the Hay House for the boys for their podcast. You come do that, then yeah, I'll have a conversation with you. I'll go to dinner with you. You're not going to tell me you want something from me, and then I'm not necessarily going to make you prove it, if I can say it that way. So there are times where I'm like, yeah, I know he wants to hang out with me. I don't know what his end goal is, but I'm game. But in the meantime,
you know what the end goal is.
in the meantime, you can come and do X, Y, and Z. And if I really am not feeling that person, then no, I don't want you to do anything for me at all. Nothing.
Okay. So why would you? I'm having multiple thoughts. You said y'all can say what y'all want to say about me or something like that. Do you think that some people view people like or women in that way because they're getting something in return? Like, to me, people always want something in return.
I think so. I think when women probably are a little bit more vocal about it, I think people's minds just go to the extreme.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, at least in conversations I've had, because I think people's minds go to the extreme of, well, what is it that they want? And it's not, sometimes it really is like, let's just go hang out. And at the end of it, we realize there's no spark there. Like, we enjoyed our time, but we don't want to date each other, but we never would have known that had we not gone out. And I don't see anything wrong with knowing that this man wants to be in my presence and spend time with me. Then for me, it's almost like, give them the opportunity, especially if they put forth the effort. Because I would be put off if a man just walked up to me and said, this is end goal. I want to have sex with you.
Right.
Like, you for sure not gonna talk to me.
Right.
So, let's start with a phone number. Let's start with a coffee date. Let's start with some conversations. But even though I know in the back of my mind this may be what you want, you got to put some effort in. And at some point, I got to give you the opportunity to put the effort in.
Okay. I see you, Cindy. Why don't I ask this thought because I lost it and I got it back. Is there a class of men that don't have to give you something in order to get your attention?
For me personally, or
I really want to know more so in general, you know what I'm saying? But I'm asking of one person, right? Or 4 or 5 people, but I'm just thinking in terms of,
honestly, in general, I think if women are honest, yes, there's a certain class of men who probably are financially, not just financially stable, but wealthy and rich, that they believe can give them their heart's desires. They probably are not going to have to work as hard as just a good, solid guy.
So that's interesting. I'm with you. That's what I was thinking is the general truth.
Yeah.
Then that means we would delve into the power dynamic, right? Like who thinks they have most leverage in this negotiation. So the rich guy would be under the impression that he has more leverage.
Right.
So I don't know, Casey. I'm not putting anything together. I can change your life, right?
It's not the rich guy for me.
Go hire somebody.
Right. Been ready all the window.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? How you been? What, you outside?
Yeah, in my car.
Man, roll the window. Hold on 1 second. What's up? So we got Cindy. What you got? Dog said, "Men that are fine."
No, I was actually going to tell my story that I had of this particular situation that we're talking about now that I walked in on.
Okay.
So,
tell the story.
Okay. So this guy, right? Okay, we have a past. We're friends with benefits, right? This was when we were both single and whatever. Well, that was the end of that. Didn't talk to him for a long period of time. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he says, "Hey, how you doing? Are you doing all right?" I'm just like, Yeah, I'm doing okay. No big deal. He goes, well, do you need anything? Do you need anything? I'm like, no, I'm good. Okay. He goes, I sure missed our conversations and said what we used to do and how we used to kick it and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, those were good times. And then a couple days later, hey, how you doing? You need anything? I'm like, no, I'm good. He's like, oh, okay, that's good. And then I'm like, okay, I'm having having troubles. Maybe I should take him up on that. He's like, oh yeah, I can help you with that, no problem. Well, then that one we didn't need to fix. But the second problem, I took him up on the offer, and then he started bringing up the past again and how we used to kick it. And he goes, would you ever do that with me again? And I'm like, no, I'm not really in the mood. I haven't been in the mood for a relationship or friends with benefits. I just want to be
Did he fix the
alone. I
car?
got so much going on.
Did he fix the car?
Yeah.
See, he didn't play his
So
cards
he's
right.
like-
Casey, he didn't play his cards right.
So then he brings you the money to fix my car, cut my tires, and I said, you are awesome because I will pay you back. Thankfully, I filed my income taxes, so I get a refund because of that COVID check that anonymously came out. Anyways, it got me some nice chunk of change. But I'm going to pay him back, and I'm going to call it a day. But he still wanted to do what we used to do, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing it because it seems like you only call me when you want that or like whatever. You know what I mean? So
But wasn't he a friends with benefits? What else he gonna call you?
That's what friends with benefits mean.
Ben Ready, and Julie, both of them essentially said, isn't that what friends with benefits do? They hit you up when it's time for the benefits?
But I don't want the benefits no more. I
Right.
don't want the benefits no more, but I do need his help.
So he didn't play his cards right.
Well, no, it don't work like that. So you want the benefits of him helping you out. He wants the benefits of you helping him out in the bedroom. So it's a give and take.
So Ben Ready.
So you're being selfish, and no, he's giving you what you want, but you ain't giving him what he wants in return. It don't work like that.
And there's nothing in writing that says I have to put out just to get money from him. I can pay him back, and he'll get his money back. So the gesture was returned. He did a good gesture to help me out with my car. I'm paying him back instead of stiffing him. But I'm not going to be a prostitute and sleep with him for the money to fix my car. Oh hell no! That ain't happening, dude.
No. See what it is. No.
All right, hold on, Cindy. Hold on. Ben Ready, what are you trying to say?
What it is she's not being a prostitute. She don't want to be a prostitute, right? But like this, right? People who don't
Hold
at it
on.
like this. Hold on.
Who's
People don't like this, but when you're dating or you're in a relationship, that's basically what it is. People don't want to call it that. But technically,
hey, Ben Ready,
that's what it is.
your phone ringing, so it's going.
Yeah.
Messing up the audio.
I stop it.
Yeah.
I stop it. So,
right. But you were still talking.
That's.
I want to be able to get what you're saying. So start over.
Basically, when you're dealing with someone in a relationship, that's what it is. You're having sex with that person in exchange for whether you look at it like that or not. That's what it is. You're paying directly or indirectly.
Okay, I got you. So you're saying that you think Cindy was being selfish by allowing that dude to give her the money or to fix her car. Hold on. Because y'all gotta understand, it's even more difficult for me because I'm having cross conversation. So like I need silence on one side while I'm talking to the other. But you're saying that. So let me ask you this, Ben Ready, just yes or no. Do you think that she knew that that's what he wanted, son?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So you're saying because she knew what he wanted and didn't have any intent of giving him what he wanted, but still got what she wanted out of the deal, that makes her selfish.
Yes, basically,
Okay.
because she's now
Okay.
playing the game. She's
Hold
playing
on.
the game.
Hold on. So that makes her selfish. Now, a long, long time ago, we had a conversation about if a woman knows a man doesn't want to be in a relationship, right? And the guy still gets what he wants from her, is he being selfish? And Julie said yes. And everybody else
Yeah,
said, nah, that's
yeah,
on her. So isn't
yeah,
that on him?
yes. I
Okay.
agree with Julie. Yes.
Okay. I got you. If I
No, he
no,
didn't. No, he didn't.
if I
No,
Yeah.
if
he
I remember
no,
the
Julie,
he
conversation,
didn't.
stop being
He
condescending.
didn't
Yes,
agree. He
yes,
didn't agree.
hold on,
No, you
everybody
yes,
didn't.
stop.
You
Everybody,
did not agree with me, Ben
yes,
Ready. I would have
I did.
known. I would have known the 1 in a million time where you and I would have agreed.
Uh,
You did not agree
again,
with me on that
yes,
day.
I did. If you listen to what I'm saying,
uh-huh,
everything is give and take,
uh-huh.
right? And everything comes down to money. When it's all said and done, everything in life comes down to money. So with that situation, yes, she wanted to get her car fixed or whatever fixed, and he wanted to have sex in return, but she didn't want to have sex with him no more. But so she got her car fixed, and he didn't get no sex.
And that's messed up. That you think that's selfish on her part.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes,
So
yeah,
I understand your perspective, right? If a guy knows that a woman wants to be in a relationship, right? He knows she wants to be in a relationship, and he takes advantage of that, just like Cindy did with the car. Does that make him selfish if he's not willing to give her the relationship? But he's willing to get the cookies from her, but he's not willing to be in a relationship with her.
yes, yeah,
You're saying he's selfish also.
yes.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna have to go back and find that one because I could have sworn we was enjoy arguing about it.
Okay, because he changed his tune now, because that's not what he said.
No. Okay.
I just think that since Cindy labeled the dude as a friends with benefits at the beginning of her story,
Mm-hmm.
I figured she knew what time it was when he called her.
She did, but because of the time lapse, he wasn't on his game in terms. He was supposed to get the confirmation as to whether or not he could get some before. But that goes to what Ben Reddy is talking about in terms of him not wanting to feel like it was a transaction for that which he really wanted. So he skipped that part and he took an L because he wasn't willing to be straightforward. I agree with you, Tori. I disagree that everything is about money. I disagree with that. But I understand Ben Reddy's premise. Hold on 1 second, because Pod done had his hand up for a while. Pod, you did?
Yes, sir. Cindy, you know I love you like a sister
Oh boy.
from another region. Listen, two things you messed up at. And Ben Ready stupid. I always tell guys to think like that, he's stupid.
What?
You didn't do it right. You know that you had a friends with benefit with him. So what you should have did when he came back around the first time, you should establish say, hey, I know we cool, we did this, and nothing like that no more. With guys, you got to reiterate that off front, and sometimes more than one time. But when you iterate that to them, you are established to financial. Listen, we have friends with benefits. But I'm not on that. We ain't gonna do that. Now I got a little issue. Can you help me out? I'll pay you back. You can work that, but you have to iterate with them guys because men are stupid. I always tell the secret about men. If you let us get our way, we're gonna keep getting away. You can be 20 years from now, we're gonna try to think to get our way again. So that's where you messed up by not establish that foundation. Like, listen, I know we did our 1-2. It's different now. I ain't on it. I'm in a little bind. I will pay you back if got something coming. I just need a little help before it comes. If you can, I got you. That's what you establish. And don't listen to Ben Ready because he leads with his money. Don't have. I had to go on my little rant, but like I said, yeah, with women, this double standard sometimes. I don't like this where women said he know that I didn't want him, but you still let him do something for you. If you know that you don't want him and you ain't see him in that eyesight, don't let him do nothing for you unless you really desire. Like if you in a city situation and you can pay him back right away, then you can do that. But if you know you ain't gonna try to
That's
back, don't let no man or woman, if you're a man,
that's
I'm
not what
thinking
friends
for
with benefits mean.
you,
No, that's
bitches back what they want.
Hold
That's
on,
what
man.
that's how you get these guys or women to stalking you, breaking stuff because you gave them the inkling idea, oh, I could get something by doing this to you.
Okay,
Doing this for you. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
No, you right away say no. It's nothing like that. I don't like you. You cool, bro. You cool, sis, but I ain't my type of rhythm. You have to tell people that.
Okay,
And
so
when you do that, you still have to. Sometimes they don't get the hint. But if you start off with the foundation like that, they have to respect it or deal with it because you already set the boundaries. But if you don't set no boundaries, they gonna think what they want to.
okay,
This is what guys do.
so Ben Ready has a retort to Pod. So Ben Ready, what you got?
friends with benefits doesn't mean what person was talking about. Friends with benefits simply means that we're going to hook up and have sex, whatever, and we're not going to be committed to each other, right? So, yeah, you can do things outside of having sex, but basically, that's the premises of the relationships is having sex. It's not about all the other things. You know, it's just basically solely, mainly about sex. Yeah, once in a while you might hang out and kick it with this person or do things you like boyfriend and girlfriend, but basically that's what that means. I call you up when I'm horny and I want some, and you
Okay,
come over here and give it to me.
okay,
But
So
no,
if something breaks down or something like that, now yeah, y'all have been having sexual relationships with each other for quite some time. So now feelings has gotten involved. Now y'all treating each other like boyfriend and girlfriend, but without the title, and then without the commitment. That's all
okay.
that basically means.
What's up, Quill?
What's going
How you
on? I'm all right.
yeah, respect that situationship.
Pod, hold on, Pod. Hold on, yeah. It can't just be random like that this time, cause I got 4 people on the Instagram block, right?
Okay.
So I'll let you talk, but if it's random, it's gonna cut me off.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Quill, we basically having a conversation about relationships and rewards, right? And how different people expect different things, knowingly and unknowingly.
Mm-hmm.
And we've heard a couple stories that pretty much solidify that everyone has an expectation of some type of reward, one way or another. And so, hold on a second. And so, you're a married man.
Right.
Do you expect rewards for what you do in your marriage?
Hmm.
It's a good question.
Nope. No, because if I do something, I do it because I want to do it, not expecting anything back from it. Because the reason why I say that is because I think that's why we get disappointed about a lot of things. So I do stuff because I know that I'm doing it, and I'm not doing it expecting you to do something for me. I'm doing it because it's in my heart to do it, and because I genuinely want to do this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, because I think that that's where a lot of arguments and heartbreaks comes from, is because people have a certain expectation of somebody, and then when we don't meet it, then you're disappointed. But either you go I think I built enough of a relationship now with my wife that I have an understanding on what I can ask her and what I can't. You know what I'm saying? What she's capable of doing for me and what she's not capable of doing for me. So I think a lot of I agree with a lot of what Ben Ready said, because I think what's happening is we have conflated a whole bunch of different relationships and trying to make them one thing. We've tried to make friends, relationships, intimate relationships, and everything else one thing. And instead of you making clear about what you expect from somebody, we imply things and get upset with other people.
All right, so Quill,
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with a lot of what you said.
Mm-hmm.
The main part I agree with is that there's a lack of communication that occurs about people's expectations of the rewards are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think on some level I think that's intentional. On other levels, I think it's unintentional. And
Right.
before you came in the room, I was saying, like, I think we all do things in the moment. I'm not saying every time we do something, but we
Right.
all do things that in the moment we're not consciously expecting to get something in return,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's human nature. So when you are on the opposite side of that and you're the one in need, and if that person doesn't reciprocate, it's human nature to be like, hold up, yeah, right? Like, I
Right.
did it for you, you know. And I think that occurs in marriages. I think it occurs in friendships and in work relationships, in business relationships. And it's not until somebody feels taken for granted or slighted that that person realizes that they did actually have an expectation, right? When they did the act,
Mm-hmm.
it was genuine, right? It was consciously, it was genuine. Like, you need my help, I got you, right?
Right.
So, you know, your car broke down on the side of the road. You called me and you like, yo, I need your help. I'm not coming to help you for you to help me next week when my car breaks
Right.
down. Oh, but when my car breaks down, you probably would be one of the people that I call.
Right.
And in my mind, I'm expecting you to come through for me if you can, because I did that for you.
But see, but I guess the thing that I'm getting at, because I've been studying a lot in Stoicism and in Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's our reactions that's the problem. It's not necessarily being upset. It's how you decide to react after said thing happened. So it's like, if it's not going to change the situation, and if I can't force them to do anything about it, either I'm going to be able to come to a resolution with them, or I'm not.
So
Go
I'm with you. I'm with you on the
Mhm.
reaction thing, right?
Mhm.
Because, but I'm not talking so much about the reaction. I'm talking about the internal experience or the internal expectation that wasn't there before that arises within you. Now, when I could just be like, oh, well, it's all good. Don't worry about it, right? Like,
Mhm.
but inside of me, there's a part of me that's like, how you gonna not come help me out? I might not say it. I might not talk to my wife about it. I might not ever bring it up to you, but it's innate for me to expect for you to be reciprocal when
Yeah,
my time
no
blow
doubt.
out, right?
I totally agree with that.
All right.
I totally agree. I'm not disagreeing.
All right, I got you.
I'm thinking. I guess my whole point is that we have to kind of separate those two things, though. Like,
I agree wholeheartedly.
I just think a lot of times our reaction is so drastic that we can't recover from it. Like, a lot of times we do the most drastic thing, and then after a while it's like, look, man, like I shouldn't have went that far with it.
Hold on, but so Quill, I'll tell you this. So
Yeah.
I made this point, and then if anybody else wants to go, just let me know. I think, because you hit on something that I agree with, it's the lack of communication that causes the problems, right?
Right.
I think in relationships, I ain't talking about like, oh, you my man. I'm talking about male, female, or intimate relationships. There should be more conversations about the expected rewards or reciprocity for that which people do, especially on a day in, day out basis.
Right.
Because use your wife, for example. If your wife, let's say your wife just cook every day, right? And let's say she actually like cooking.
Mm.
Just because she likes cooking and she cooks every day doesn't mean that she doesn't have some expectation of you because that cooking happens, right? And so if she were to say, Quail, you know, can you change the tire?
Right.
And you like, man, I'm watching the game. There's going to be a part of her that's be like, bro, I done cook every day for the past 30 days. If you don't pause that shit and go change my tire for 15 minutes, we're going to have a problem. Now, I'm with you on the reaction because she may just be like, oh, okay, it's cool. But deep down, when you lay in the bed next to her that night and you trying to rub up on her and she kind of like, I ain't in the mood, it's because you ain't changed that tire.
But that goes twofold, though.
Absolutely.
Because how I reacted to that was not the right. It wasn't necessarily the right reaction, because guess what? Especially not when I know I'm gonna want something from you later on.
Right.
So I have to keep that stuff in mind. I think that's the bigger problem, though. It's like why it's so one-sided, is because we do this thing of solely focusing on what I have done, rather than just saying, hey, this person also brings some value, or this person also does something. So I need to be mindful of that. That doesn't mean I have to do something right then, but I have to have that in mind just in case, hey, I need something from you. I want something from you. I want you to do something for me.
That's why I said those conversations have to be had, because people do things on a day in, day out basis that are just normal duties. And but that doesn't mean the other person sees that, like, because your wife cooks every day, it doesn't mean that you view it as her being giving, right? She may, in her mind, she like, you might be like, yo, you don't give enough. And she like, what are you talking about, right?
I
So in
give
her
it every day, yeah.
right? And like with guys, like let's say you pay the bills, right? She might be like, you don't do enough for me. And you're looking at the bank statement like, Amazon say I do a whole lot for you, right? But it's the way in which we label duties, responsibilities, reciprocity, and rewards. And if you can have conversations to bring those things to the light, then now she knows when she goes to Amazon, you're being given. And when you know,
but I think we have to stop. I think we have to stop conflating it too much too, though, because I think what we do is that we take the general principle of a man provides, protects, and does all these things, and we make it one thing, and that means all of these things within a relationship means different, because what you and your wife consider in a relationship is different from what's in mine. So I think the whole thing of what I think the bigger problem is, it's just like a lot of people have been gassed up by this conversation, and they don't got a battery in their back, and they like, oh no, I'm not getting my value, so I have to go in my house and put my foot down and da-da-da-da-da. And that's what's happening, rather than you saying, hey man, let me actually look at my situation, because I might not even be in that in what's going on in these conversations.
Yeah, I got you. So Casey got her hand up. Instagram can't see Instagram can't see the Zoom can't see the Instagram. So Casey, what you got?
Yeah, both of you all hit on it, and it was communication. I think I said this maybe Monday, it was recently, but folks don't have unsexy conversations about how do you show up one for another in these serious committed relationships. And again, generally speaking, right? I feel like I always make that disclaimer. So most folks are, hell bent on, oh, he makes me feel this way, or to Quell's point, he does X, Y, and Z. She does X, Y, and Z. But you don't have the deeper conversation of, even if you pay these bills, I'm going to feel unfulfilled if you still don't give me physical touch, right? Thank you for the bill paying. Thank you for access to your credit card, but I still need you to hold me, to touch me, to say something kind to me. That is going to make me know in my language and how I receive your love. Not that what you're doing isn't important. And yes, please keep paying the bills, right? But if you don't communicate that, then you're going to have conflict. And then he is going to think, but I'm showing you love every single day by making sure you're safe, you're fed, there's a roof over your head, you get to hang with your friends, you get to shop. And she's like, great, thank you for that, but I still need this. And I just think that people need to communicate more about what it is that you need, in addition to those things that you're going to end up taking for granted, or at least taking as some level of confidence is going to continue in your relationship. And so, the older I get and the more I'm, focused on getting married, it's like, yo, dude, we got to have these conversations. And not always pleasant, right? Sometimes it is a struggle for he and I to sit down and to really be open and honest, but it's necessary, because if we can't understand how we're going to engage with one another, then we're not getting married. I'm not going to set myself up for that. But you got to have the unsexy conversations beyond how this person makes you feel physically, or the butterflies in your stomach, or even how much you may love them. If they're not showing you love in the way that you need or you want, you need to know that before you commit your life to them.
I agree with everything you said, Casey. The only thing I would say, it's not really a retort, it's just kind of like adding on to it, is that I think because we're old enough to have experienced multiple relationships, we're intelligent enough, or have enough wisdom to know how important that is. I think when you're younger, it's a lot more. You learn those things from the relationships where you didn't communicate. Like, you find out how much, because what we do is, and this is interesting, how we take a blueprint of what we think a relationship is, right? Maybe that's from our parents or other people or what society says. And then we try to apply that blueprint to our relationship. And then we find out that the blueprint is just the blueprint. It's not the actual structure. And we start building the structure. You realize, I actually would rather have a wall right here, or I'd rather these windows be 5 feet this way. And if you're trying to force the blueprint into the building that you're actually building, you kind of end up like off balance and off centered, and you're like, well, this doesn't feel right. But he's checking all the boxes that I had, but that's a lack of self-awareness. You didn't know how much physical touch meant to you, or you didn't know how much being able to buy shit off Amazon meant to you, or you didn't know how much your woman cooking for you meant to you, because maybe you didn't grow up with that. So you were walking around saying, oh, my woman don't have to cook. Then she not cooking, and you like, yo, damn, I feel some kind of way she not cooking. That's not me. Yeah, dog, that's you.
Yep.
Congratulations, you've met yourself. Pod, what you got? Preston?
I'm here. Don't
Don't
call me like my dad.
That's what I got.
Dr.
Hawk be calling you Preston. I know when she say Preston, you listen.
I was gonna say this: if you don't do things because you want somebody to do something for you. You do stuff for people unconditionally. Love them unconditionally because you want to. If they do it or not, it's on them. Even in a relationship, even in a marriage. You know, so that's the thing. It's supposed to be a relationship is give and take, but on your end you just give and you do it ungrudgingly and wholeheartedly, and it'll come back to you. And if they don't do it, it's gonna work its way out where you'll find somebody that will do the back and forth with you. I mean, willing, but you know what I'm saying, when people do stuff for just to get the reaction out of the person, try to get the same thing out of them, that's where it goes wrong.
Well, I think so. I understand what you're saying, Pa, and I think that's a good principle. I think it's unrealistic of humans to work in that way, to work in that capacity 100% of the time. But what we're talking about is a little bit deeper than just doing something for someone and having the expectation for them to do the exact same in return. We're talking about the underbelly of the human psyche, which has a deep desire for reciprocity, connectivity, and fairness, right? So while Pod may do something for someone out of the kindness of his heart and with no conscious intent of getting anything in return, it's human nature to, when you're in need and you know that person has the capacity to help you, it's human nature for you to pick up the phone and call that person, right? And that inclination, whether or not you act on it, is irrelevant in terms of the conversation that we're having. That inclination is what shows you the human desire for fairness, reciprocity, and all of those things. So
okay, I get what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah. I was gonna say, I've been through that. I just went through that when I helped my best friend out in certain areas, and if my time of need, she has there. You just gotta find. Hopefully, you can run into somebody with the same mindset, the same heart as you. You know, so that's in that aspect. You just gotta find the right person that can return the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta. Some people, I get what you're saying. So you expect somebody to help you when you down, but you help them when they down.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is, in the moment where you're helping them, you're not thinking about it like, I'm going to do this because when I need them, they're going to do it for me. That thought doesn't necessarily cross your mind. It doesn't cross your mind until you're the one in need, and you know for a fact that they can help you, and you're like, well, damn, that's even better. because I just helped her or him out with this last week.
Right.
So I know that in theory, we all have this thing where we expect people to be who we are, right? So because Pod is the type of person that will go to the ends of the earth for somebody, when Pod needs someone to go to the ends of the earth for him, he's most likely going to call the person that he went to the ends of the earth for. Or at least that's going to be one of the thoughts that crosses your mind.
Right. In my own situation, learning that at the end of the day, I learned that no matter if I do that for the person and think they're going to do it, I always need to trust God regardless. That's what God showed me with my friend. Like, you thought she's going to do the same thing like I do, because God only one returns in favor. You know what I'm saying? God's the only one that never fails me. So I learned that meaning, like, even though I do stuff for people and love on them, help on them, I can't put my trust in them to do the same because they are humans. So they can let me down. They can let me down. So I got to always keep my faith and my trust in God. And so if they don't help me, he got my back. He will have somebody to help me. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I probably stepped away from that.
Nah, you good. You good. It's like it's a layered conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a principle that if someone asks me to borrow money, I don't expect to get it back.
I know a lot of people that do that.
I just don't expect to get it back. You know what I'm saying? If you pay me back, cool. If you don't, I think there's been one time where I loaned somebody money and I was like, listen, and this is after I've given you a boatload of money already, and I'm dipping into something that is already earmarked for something very important. But since we cool, I'm gonna look out for you. Hey, listen, normally, you know, I don't ask you for the money back. Dog, I need my money back, and I need my money back in 2 weeks, right? But that's the one time. Other than that, if you ask me for money and you say, yo, Charles, can I borrow $50? Yeah, here you go. If you give it back, you give it back. If you don't, cool. I'm never gonna hit you up and be like, hey, dog, I need that $50. Now, that's not to say I can never be in a situation where I won't need to borrow money, right? And what I'm saying is, naturally, my mind is going to go to all the people who owe me money, right? But that wasn't my intent when I gave it to you, because I don't want to expect to get it back. Just, I don't want it to ruin our relationship. Go about your business. If you give it back, cool. If not, we still good. I still love you the same. So, Casey, you had your hand up, right? Instagram, if y'all got something, let me know.
You already said it. That's why I pulled my.
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say though, I had a few people, a guy I listened to on YouTube, and I think my uncle said it, but you don't lend money you can't afford to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And so I treat that in every aspect of my life, because guess what? Like I got the principle that we borrow people. We don't own them in a certain way. Like, we share a certain amount of time with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we share ourselves with other people. You know, the people that you know we're in relationship with our friends. So you treat your time like money. If you can't afford it, if you don't want to lose the time, then you don't give the time to somebody. But if once it's gone, it's gone. Like, you can't get it back. So there's nothing to get upset over.
Talking about time.
Yeah, your time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, your time, your effort, your energy, you don't get any of that back. So you might could get upset about it for the time being, but to mull on it and link and to blow up the way that we do. Right. Like, we blow up a lot about a whole bunch of things, and it's like, look, what can I do about this? And can I get it from this person? That's why I would agree with Preston about, is like, a lot of times we try to, and I've said this before, we try to get people to be who we want them to be, rather than allowing them to be the natural person who they are. And our feelings are our feelings. Just because I love somebody doesn't mean that they should love me back.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So I just think we have to rethink how we view relationships, because we're taught to selfishly love people instead of like, all right, I'm going to put this out, and if I get it, and if I get the love back from you, that's a blessing. Like, it's a blessing if I get it back, but it's not a requirement.
Right. I think that's what's difficult for all of us, because I think it goes against our natural desire for fairness. Right. That's the difficult thing, and that goes to what you're talking about, like the Stoicism, the Buddhism, that's what I talk about, being transcendent of your thoughts and emotions.
Mindfulness.
Right. Mindfulness. Right. Like, the one thing, if I could tell you I've learned anything from doing the lives for the past 2 years, is like, how attached people are to their opinions, right? And and while I'm attached to my opinions, I'm good at not being so attached to my opinions that it can ruin my ability to understand someone else's opinion. You know what I'm saying? But you had these conversations all the time. You realize, like, damn, like, it's difficult for people to come up off of their opinion. It's super hard.
Yeah, and
Um,
I used to be one of those people, but it's like I learned that more times than not, I tended to be wrong when I was trying to be absolutely right.
mhm.
Um, there's no absolutes, and I got more out of life being open to at least hear somebody and take what I need out of the information. That doesn't mean I got to accept everything that someone
Right.
says, but I get to choose what I ingest and what I put into me, and I think it's really hard because I think a lot of people are afraid. I think that this is one guy. I listened to Alan Watts, and one thing that he was saying that he was like, it's fun to have like a religion when you're not attached
Mhm.
to it, when you can have it without having a personal attachment to
Right.
it. When you can have it, then it's fun to have it because it's not your all, it's not your whole being. And I think that's what gets me, because I used to be one of those like Bible thumping type people, and I don't have anything wrong. I don't think it's wrong to have a belief, but when you can be easily triggered by the slightest thing,
Mhm.
and that's why it's so easy for people to be able to to goad people on like that, because you're so attached to it that you can't see anything else other than what you believe.
Right. So I'm an Alan Watts fanatic too, right? I got like 8 hours of his talks to like chill out music or whatever. And I see you, Dr. Huck. He has this one where he talks about how um people use religion as a boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
it like I was listening, I was like, damn, this is kind of deep. And basically he's like, you're standing on one shore and your objective is to get to the other shore. But you need the boat to get across. And he said what happens is we all get on the boat on the shore that we don't want to be on, and then we get into the water and decide we're just gonna stay on the boat. We just and this is the way I'm paraphrasing, summarizing his point. He's like, religion is the boat. He's like, we stay on the boat and then we just start living on the boat, and we forget that we were supposed to be using this to become who it is we're supposed to become and do the things we're supposed to do. But people get so caught up in the boat that they forget about the actual final destination. So that's a good one. I had to send you some of the joints I got. Dr. Hawk, what you got? It's almost 8:00.
Hello, everybody. Hello. So just listen to you guys help me come to, I guess, my response. And I guess the way you framed it to Quell, when it comes to rewards in a relationship, I want to say like those expected or maybe non-negotiable rewards that have to be there. You know what I'm saying? Respect, commitment to the relationship, and the responsibility. And not just commitment to the relationship, commitment to the family and the responsibility. We both need to be responsible. But then those other rewards that we really don't have control over, of how our spouse or our significant other sees us, is like we really can't control how much a person loves us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a reward, because if a person does love you, the idea of the happiness, right? Because we really can't make someone else happy,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody can make us happy. But a reward is if we are both happy in a relationship. And then the other thing is, when you have someone that's disciplined, you are not responsible for somebody else's actions. But when you get a person who's committed to being disciplined in a relationship, that's a reward. So, I mean, and then the companionship in and of itself is a reward in a relationship.
So you said we can't control. How'd you say it? We can't control certain. How'd you say it, Dr.
You can't really control the things of these other people. Like, we can't control how much somebody loves us. Like,
okay, right. So I got you. So, but what I was pondering on, I'm not giving you like pushback or anything. I was just thinking, like, can we control any of it?
like, technically, you really can't control none of it, but there's some things that, and this is just for me, for Asia, like, to be in a relationship, that these are the things that have to be there. These rewards to be in a relationship,
They got to be there.
Have to be there for me to say, this is a relationship that I'm staying in.
Right.
And that's the respect, the commitment to the family and to me, and the responsibility. You have to be a responsible adult.
Right.
We still don't really have control over that, but those are those non-negotiables, like, for me.
Yeah, I got you.
But at the same time, some other rewards that you pray will be there, right?
There's no guarantee.
Right.
Well, hold on. Well, it sounds like you're saying you have your rewards that are non-negotiable, and then you have your rewards that you would like to have, but there's no guarantee that you're going to get them, but they're not deal breakers.
They're not deal breakers. The relationship can still
sustain,
last, or be successful with those non-negotiable things. In my opinion.
So I agree with you. I would add that I think that because your non-negotiables are what they are, right? So they just are what they are. I think what happens in a lot of relationships is, let's say you have a relationship where the non-negotiables are fully present. Those little ones, if they begin to stack up over time, they become a problem. So you're like, that's how people end up in the conversations or the arguments where it's like, I'm doing everything. I'm giving you the respect, right? I'm giving you the dedication. I'm giving you all of the things that Dr. Hawk said. But Dr. Hawk is like, I didn't realize how much important it was for you to rub my feet twice a week. You know what I'm saying? And then that starts to nip at people. And then they realize that it may not be a non-negotiable, but it's important enough to affect the way we begin to communicate with one another and create tension and stuff like that. Like, you ain't touched me, right? Or you're not paying me any attention.
Chels, I got a question for Dr. Hawk.
Okay.
So how do you gauge that, Dr. Hawk? Because I think that's an important question, because I don't think people know how to gauge between the two.
How to gauge what? What are you asking?
The negotiable and the non-negotiable.
Right. I don't think I don't think people know how to gauge that. I think we conflate them. So how did you get to that point?
So Dr. Hawk, the question is, how do you know that the 3 non-negotiables that you gave are your non-negotiables, as opposed to any of the other negotiables that are out there that you could be like, oh, I'm gonna add this one to it? Because
being in a relationship, those things, when you go back to see, why did this work? Why do I have the results that I have? And you see the things that were present, those ingredients that were present to make it work, are those things. So that you see the results. Like, once you tried it and you see the results from it, that makes you say, okay, well, this is a non-negotiable because I've seen success with these items.
Can I respond to that, Quill? You mind if I respond to that right quick? So I agree with you, Dr. Hook, that it comes from success, right? But I think on a deeper level, it comes from failure and pain, right? Like you don't know how important respect is to you until you are disrespected. And that's, to me, non-negotiables are born out of pain, right? And then you're like, oh, wait a minute, like I didn't know. Because everyone has been disrespected at some point, right? It's impossible to go through life and not be or feel disrespected anyway, right? Okay, cool. But at some point, you experienced a level of disrespect, and you were like, "Oh no, respect just went up to a non-negotiable, right? And then you apply it and it works, and you like, okay, so this success, the way I see it is, it's born out of the pain. It becomes a non-negotiable. You apply it in a successful relationship, and the success of it is what solidifies it. It gives you like the actual case study. Like, okay, this is legit.
And I agree with that, Chubbs, because I think you have to experience it in both ways, where you see major failure with the lack of that ingredient, and you see the success with the presence of it. So
right.
I think having to experience it on both sides,
right,
does solidify that it is a non-negotiable.
Got you. Well, good talk. You doing voice from Venus? Y'all doing voice? Didn't y'all text me earlier?
Huh?
Y'all text me earlier?
Yeah. Julie was saying that she was sick, so that means your voice is from Venus tonight. Are you able to? I know. Is it a work night for you?
I called out sick.
He took the day off.
Hold up, y'all don't hold on now. Just because I called out sick, I could have called out sick to go sit on my porch and.
I was just answering the question. I was just telling Dr. Hawk that you took the day off.
Julie Bain, we just had a whole conversation about relationships and rewards. You did not tell Dr. Hawk that I took the day off just to tell Dr. Hawk I took the day off. It was he took the day off.
That was really convenient, and you seem like you were being a little petty.
Available, Lil? Is he able to do voices from Venus?
Yeah, ask Liv.
Just answering the question.
I don't know. It's rare that I'm off on a Wednesday. I haven't decided. I don't know.
That seemed a little petty, Julie. I'm not even going.
Oh, he off. He off. Like everybody got my time just earmarked. Oh, well. Either which way.
I'll be in the room, but I don't want to talk too much because I sound like this.
What is it? We know what you sound like, Julie. It's all good.
Not all.
Either which way, Voices from Venus is up next. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Comment, Beast. Get that 66% off on your session with me. Promo code is B. In the meantime, in between time, take your power back. Peace.
Peace.
All right, y'all.
Recording stopped.
Man, Brady, you still there, man?
Yeah.
How you been, man?
Good, man.
I ain't talked to you in a while. Everything been good?
Yeah. Arguing with these assholes on live.
Why?
Yeah, because a lot of these people come up here thinking they are relationship experts when they're in all actuality they're not. Now give it to them. I'm a relationship expert without the papers.
Okay.
So
let me ask you this.
I'm just not certified, right? But I have been dealing with different women throughout my life. I'm 48 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a tremendous amount of experience with different women.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how women think. I know how they are. I know how they react in relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you get these corny ass men and women up here that haven't experienced a lot of the things, I haven't experienced everything, I guess, in a relationship. The only thing that I haven't experienced in a relationship was basically having kids and getting married. But everything else, basically, I've experienced. But all these other things that people are talking about, I've more than likely have experienced. Not all, but most of them. So I can talk about it and explain to them and give them a good background of what I'm talking about on how a relationship should be and how it should work.
So it sounds like through your personal experience, you developed a lot of wisdom and knowledge about relationships. Am I right? You still there?
Say it again.
I said it sounds like you're saying that through your direct experiences of different relationships, you've developed wisdom and knowledge about relationships in general, like a really good amount of wisdom. You still there?
Yeah. You said what now?
I said it
I'm out.
sounds like you're saying that through your personal experiences with multiple relationships, you've gained a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of how relationships are supposed to work, right?
Right.
Okay. So based on this Instagram world, what would you say is the one thing that you hear people talking about that they have incorrect?
Listening.
Huh? I
Understanding.
can't hear
Listening
you.
for listening for understanding.
Okay. So you're saying most people don't listen to understand, they listen to what do what?
Yeah.
Respond?
Talk. Yes. Exactly. To respond.
Okay.
And that's most people on social media. Period. They talk just to talk, not to get a acclamation of understanding of what the topic at hand is. At is.
So so huh. Do you think they do that on purpose?
Yes.
See, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this is what I think. Um I think that
Let me
we
break it down to you like this, Chill. Right. When we all went to school, right, and when you went to a school, you was in front of a teacher was placed upon you, right,
okay.
in that classroom, right.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you do in that classroom?
The schoolwork,
You
whatever.
sat and listened as the teacher spoke,
Uh-huh.
right, and gave out information, right.
Mm-hmm.
So as when the teacher gave out the information that they wanted to give, you sat there and listened, and then it was a time that the teacher gave you a time to respond to what the teacher just presented to the students, right?
Uh-huh.
And didn't that it didn't work like that, in school?
You broke up you broke up. What'd you say?
I said when you was in school,
I got all of that. What was the last sentence you said? What did you say?
all I was saying was basically when you're in school, you're sitting there and you're seeking information and you're sitting there to listen, to comprehend. And if you can't sit there and listen to comprehend, then it will be a problem. Because 9 times out of 10, what is happening is if the teacher is talking and the students is not listening and verbatim going back and forth, then nothing is getting done.
And so you're saying that when people have these conversations, they're not listening as students listen in school. They're just it's
Right,
like talking.
right,
So I think that what I was gonna say is I think that's two things. I think one is whether or not people view the speaker as someone who's knowledgeable and as an authority. I think that's what makes people listen when they think this person knows something or can articulate something that they can't or better than they can. And then the other aspect of it is that people people are entrenched in their self view. So however someone sees themselves, if you say anything outside of their box, then they feel attacked and they stop
right.
listening. Right. And I think
Exactly.
I think it's very difficult. Like I've had people on my show come on here and be like, "Man, fuck the police." Like you talking to the
Exactly. Exactly.
right? But
Exactly.
I'm not so attached to my like that's my job, right? So I'm not so attached to that. You didn't say F Chels, right? You talking about F a whole institution. And so because I'm not so attached to my self identity isn't attached to that institution to the degree where I'm about to sit on Instagram and argue with you, then we could just continue having the conversation.
Right.
But everybody, and we all have things that we would push back on and get triggered by. But some people just more than others. So when you say, and I gotta get ready to go because I know Dr. Hawk about to do the Voices from Venus. When you say you demand 50-50, people internalize that and say, well, going 50-50 means this about me, right? So for the guys, they'll be like, going 50-50 means I'm not a real man, right? And for the women, they'll say going 50-50 means I'm taking care of a grown man, and I don't see myself as someone who takes care of a grown man. So then they begin to give you that pushback. And they could disagree without being triggered, but that's not how people operate. So, but either which way, it's good to have you back. You know you're welcome back anytime, my man. I gotta get over here though.
Yeah. Yeah. Take it or leave.
I,